All the disrespect, the free play, better button check. Button check.
What is up, Butt Check family? Welcome back to yet again a beautiful day of checking these buttons. It is Saturday. The weekend is here. We done made it. As always, chapters down below. If you want to skip around, sub button right there. Thank you so much for always taking the time to help the channel grow. We got some hot ones, y'all. Just popped off yesterday. Still going on this weekend. We got new betas. We got new debates, all that stuff. So without further ado, let's get these buttons. Let's go. All right, now into the first set of the FGC officially has the oldest esports player buttons that need to be checked. Yo, this one caught me by surprise, and I'll kind of explain it as we unpack it, but I'm gonna start right here. So I saw the official post by GamerB, but we're gonna start with zDamascus. They posted the article just yesterday, right here saying Street Fighter Pro Gamer, or I should say GamerB, just broke the record for oldest player to join a major esports organization at the age of 46. He's been competing for almost 3 decades. All right, so let's go ahead and read a little snippet of the article, and I'll also put a link down below so you guys can check it out. Right here saying, though games like Counter-Strike and League of Legends and other legacy esports have players in their late 20s, early 30s still competing, no esport is like fighting games. This is particularly true in the case of Street Fighter, considering that Hayo swept the Evil Awards for his Street Fighter Third Strike run at the age of 42, and Daigo is still actively competing at 43. The old men of Street Fighter community are still holding their own at top level. Meanwhile, Flash Wolves has chosen to sign GamerB, a previous EVO finalist in Street Fighter 4. He's been playing for a while, but still actively traveling to participate in tournaments for Street Fighter 6. His efforts have been rewarded him with getting signed at the age of 46. This makes GamerB the oldest esports pro to ever get signed to a major organization. But before we unpack that, check this shit out. They were talking about Daigo is 43. And then right here, where was that at? I know I saw, Hayo. Hayo swept the Evil Awards at 42. You remember who that guy was? I didn't even know his age. I don't know how I missed that. He was the one doing all the damn splits and the poses. He even jumped and did a damn like kickflip at the award show. Here's a clip.
He's winning, Justin.
So this is Evo.
He's winning.
It doesn't hurt?
Oh my God! That hurts me, brother.
God.
Oh dear Lord.
The pants don't rip.
Magic pants.
The pants don't rip.
This guy is actually the most mobile person of his age group.
41 years old, by the way.
All right, check that out. So right there when he did that, he was 41 years old. I believe now he's 42. I didn't know his age. He does ridiculous like kicks and flips and acrobats, and he's already in his 40s. I didn't know that. Daigo, though, said he was 43. I don't know why I kept thinking Daigo was a little older than that, maybe 45, 46, but I guess not. GamerB gets sponsored at 46. Still doing the damn thing. FGC is reacting. I'll put some on the screen. Mostly it's like, congratulations, keep doing your damn thing. Other people are getting inspired by this. Somebody by the name of Sir Joey says, if I was 20 and got beat by a 46-year-old, I would get on my knees and bow. Respect the hustle. Others respond saying, fighting game players are aged differently on reaction. There's a lot of top-tier players in their 40s winning tournaments. Wrapping it up right here saying, me and my friends say that fighting games are old head games since a lot of the best players are in their late 30s and mid 40s, still topping the charts, LOL. Daigo is 43 and still goated at Street Fighter. And continuing on, I even see Mike Ross saying, I remember running into GamerB at EVO 15 years ago and learning that he was 31 years old. I said to myself, damn, he's good for being that old. Congrats on sponsorship, Bruce. So proud of you. Others reacting as well. I see Grand Totokai saying, I'm actually very happy for GamerB, but also very happy in general because I've only been seeing players below 30 years old getting into teams. I turned 30 last year and been thinking that getting in further was not possible for me. This kind of brings peace to my mind for a bit. That's what's up. I didn't even think, well, obviously I'm not a pro player, but I was like, those are deep thoughts, right? Kind of aging in this thing, thinking like, well, maybe teams are not interested in older players. Interesting thought. And I even see Kane Blue River adding to this saying, other esports, you're too old at 23. Start thinking about retiring and becoming a commentator or coach. Chad FGC, you're just 46? Splendid. Your experience is invaluable. And then wrapping it up right here, I see Bruce himself, GamerB, saying, thanks to zDamascus for the post, actually tagging him from Japan, also 46 years old. And I am one day older than him, so not a big difference. We both still fighting for our passion. Imagine how funny if we met each other in the tournament now, LOL. That is what's up. He's like, he's also 46, so I'm not alone, but technically I'm the oldest, and I got him by 1 day. Going back to that one comment where they were like, if I was 20 and I got beat by a 46-year-old, I would bow. They responded saying, well, actually, there's a lot of people in their late 30s, mid 40s. We call the fighting game or the FGC the old head community. How y'all feeling about that? I mean, I really feel, because take like the OGs of the FGC, we're still here. Like, I remember talking to Punk when I interviewed him, I want to say like a year or so ago. I asked him, when do you plan on retiring? Or if you do, and he kind of looked like, why would I ever retire? He was like, I don't plan to ever retire. I can do this thing forever. That's great about what we do. You got Justin Wong, you got Daigo, you got people that were here from like the first Evo, still here. They're somehow still affiliated. If they're not competing, they're somehow still affiliated and playing the game, whether it's sponsored or just casual. So honestly, when I saw this and they said he's the oldest at 46, I'm gonna be real, I wasn't surprised. Because I thought there were more people older than 46. I really did. I was like, I know people that are in their 50s. Hell, shit, might even be some in their 60s that are still in the FGC. Would I categorize the FGC though as the old head community? How y'all feeling about that? I definitely feel though we got some more youngins with the new game, Street Fighter 6, all the new releases. It's just gonna keep bringing more people to the party. But would you consider us the old head community? How y'all feeling about that? Let me know. All right, next up for them 2XKO, that Alpha 2, I believe, going on this weekend, introducing new tech, but also receiving mixed reviews, buttons that need to be checked. So we all know 2XKO, if I could talk, is coming out later this year. A lot of people hyped, they've been waiting. Some people feel like the game waited too long to come out. They were like, yo, you gotta give us something. Some people were even going so far to say like they forgot the game. They were focusing on everything else and some of the hype was dying down. But then the devs over there were like, yo, we're releasing it this year. If we wait, it's gonna be too long. But just know, in releasing it this year, it's still kind of almost like a rush project. Not that it's gonna be, you know, broken or malfunction or anything like that. Just they wanted to do so much. They wanted to do so much, but they were like, if we do everything we wanted, it's gonna prolong it even to 2026. So F all that, we're gonna release it this year. You guys are gonna finally get the game. So a lot of people are happy to see that, and there's also been some questionable things with the game, you know, removing motion inputs, and some people thinking it's too easy or might be broken or, you know, just not as hype as they thought it would. But on the other side, like I said, there are some people said, no, it's still gonna work. Well, now they got that Alpha 2 that just dropped, so what we're gonna do is get some reviews. Some of the pros actually got their hands on it. You got some saying, this is it. Others like, this not might be it. What the hell is this not might be it? This ain't it. That's what I was trying to say. This ain't it. Just like this ain't it. Whatever. Right here, Reversal posting this saying, 2XKO adds a new wake-up option, Ground Tech, a very strong option to escape pressure on wake-up. What do you think of this change? zDamascus covers the changes in the video after playing 2XKO at the community tour. Take a look.
Outside of combos, a big new change is that hard knockdowns are very limited now. The game adds a role called Ground Tech on Wake Up, and it looks overwhelmingly strong so far. Basically, every time you get knocked down, you can choose where to wake up. In place, towards the left, and towards the right. This role seemingly has no recovery, so the focus here really looks like it's to get back to neutral ASAP instead of getting mixed. And as a result, remember Echo's mix? Like this one? Or that one? Well, you can just roll out of it now. This will obviously need lab time.
zDamascus adds to this saying, Ground Tech looks like it's going to change a whole lot of how we're going to play 2XKO. Need to lab this because a roll with no recovery sounds scary as fuck. Then he continues saying it's mitigated by the fact that there's a way to score hard knockdowns, but time will tell because I think finding the right combo routes for this is going to take some time. Jiyuna said, let's add even more options, but motion inputs are too complex. Others like Kizzy K are, the buttons feel 100 times more better to press now that there's more Gatling options in 2XKO Alt 2. 10 out of 10 experience for me right now. But then some are like, well, it actually feels the complete opposite to me. I see Jiyuna adding again saying, nobody ever went to the store, looked at a fighting game and said, oh no motion inputs, I can't buy this game. Let's be for real. But others from a different perspective are like, is building complex systems for the long term while removing what non-FGC members perceive as a barrier of entry really that hard to wrap your head around? Then some are like, well, using your logic, if players are bad at FPS should Dez remove the headshots? Sonic Fox asked this saying, defense might be a little too strong in 2xKO at the moment, not fully sold on teammate push block and forward tech roll without there being a little more counterplay. And more continuing on saying, somewhat conflicted on initial impressions with 2xKO Alpha 2. I think there is a right direction and it's better game in some regards, but I had less fun playing it and still enjoyed myself, but not as much. Game feels strange and character game plans are less fluid. Sonic Fox responds saying, honestly, my thoughts too. I think the first build was far more fun to me than this one currently. Justin Wong has the complete different perspective saying, interesting, I actually had way more fun in this build. I had less fun on the last build because I felt like it was just rinse repeating and the same combos, and so was everybody else in my opinion. Now I feel like my gameplay doesn't look like the same as somebody else playing the same team, but I also enjoyed Jinx gives a different archetype and I'm not forced to engage with you. I do think this build is less anime and probably caters to more the non-anime FGC players. Hopefully they can reach in the middle. And I see Jiyuna adding as well saying, combo length, one of the reasons we're excited for a ton of folks to get early hands-on in Alpha Lab along with ensuring a training mode was available is to see what players were cracking things wide open. We've seen a ton of really creative things, but I want to underscore that super long periods of low to zero agency are undesirable. I even see FDX on that Tekken point of view adding to this pretty much the same train of thought, right? Saying low to zero agency are undesirable. Right here saying, Tekken, please take note of this. Super long periods of low to zero agency are undesirable. This applies to more than combos. And then they both quote retweeted this video. Check it out.
I mean, Ryan, Outer Wilds was almost a visual novel. Like, it wasn't, there was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of
It's a
stuff.
walking simulator. The walking simulator original. Very different.
I actually really appreciated the flying part.
Yeah, it's very different. Very different.
Like, especially because Outer Wilds is a game you're supposed to play where you're in call and then 5 people who have played the game are watching you play it for the first time and they're like, oh shit, you know?
Yeah,
and them watching you not know how to fly is like part of it, I think.
Well, I never did that for me,
Like
bro.
watching you crash
I was
into
never in a call.
That's
I think
not
another-
true.
Wow.
That is not true.
All right, so there it is. We have a lot to unpack because we got different perspectives, but the one you might be wondering about is that last statement, the low to zero agency. What does it signify? What does it mean? Let Nesto. You know, I'm summa cum howdy loudy. You know, I've got my master's in GED, and let me break it down to you. Low to zero agency. So first of all, that word agency, it's like an agency. Or it's Greek Hebrew meaning agente, which is agent, and then you got secret agents. So if you get you a secret agent of low to zero, then basically you're getting a little person, super secret agent, a little secret agent. That's what they're referring to. Or we could just Google the shit like I originally did. Right here saying low to zero agency signifies a lack of personal control and influence over one's own life and action. It means feeling powerless, like one is not the primary driver of their own choices and outcomes. And you get it, because you see these combos that are like, what did we see this last one? Was it like a 50 hit or some shit like that? People are like, yo, low to zero agency, just getting tossed up, just getting smashed for long periods of time. And Feedy even pointed out saying it's more than just combos though. It could be reference to other parts of the game where we feel like we're basically powerless. It's not fun. It's not desirable. And also he goes as far as to say, Tekken, please take note. Which is crazy to see, because I made the point a few videos ago, is I remember a time, I want to say it was like 2020, something like that, where people were stressing when Street Fighter V was at, you know, large and in demand, and they were like, yo, there's no creativity, there's no originality, we want long combos back, like y'all killed the combos. Just as people love the slam dunk, people love combos. So it did seem like the FGC was on the forefront begging devs, please bring back the longer and also the more difficult combos, which made it more fun, which made it more enjoyable, more respectable, and that fucking ooh, where people were getting out of their seats kind of thing. Now, if everybody can do it, and it seems like if you're just mashing buttons, That's what I'm kind of feeling from the FGC. Please let me know if you guys agree or disagree with that statement. I don't know if the FGC is now just doing a complete 180 and saying, no, we don't like long combos at all. Or if they're like, no, we do. They just have to be earned. So they have to find that blend, and how successful is it gonna be? We'll wait to see, but for now, mixed reviews, but I guess that could be said with anything, whether it's in its beta or alpha state. How y'all feeling? Let me know. That it is, ladies and gents. Definitely let me know how you were feeling. Thank you guys for the amazing love. We will see you soon. I would say if not tomorrow, but more than likely, it will be tomorrow because my ass is on the grind. So I hope you guys are having a good day. I hope I'll see you guys tomorrow. If you celebrate Easter, happy Easter, man. Get you some eggs and all that, and chickens and bunnies and all that stuff. I just finally bought my Easter basket for my baby. I'm one of them dads. I ain't gonna even front. I'm one of them dads that waits for the last damn second, and I'm in the store behind everybody else trying to put together a basket. I don't like the baskets in the store. You see the basket? When I grow up, let me tell you this real quick. I remember growing up, and we used to get some badass baskets. I remember our parents, I guess they made them or something. Nowadays, you go in Walmart and stuff, it's some rinky-dink ass baskets for like 15, 20 bucks, and there's barely anything in there. So the tech is, you gotta make it. Maybe buy one of those, but then stuff it with little treats and snacks. Make it old school. You know what I'm saying? Make it fulfilled. Because the last thing any father wants for their children is an Easter basket with low to zero agency. Low to zero candidacy. Low to zero candidacy. You don't want that shit. Mod it. That's the tech. Get a basket and mod it. A loaf of bread, some Kit Kats, some Twix, a sandwich, whatever. Stuff it out. Make it look bigger than it is. That's what she said. And then, it's a good present. It's a good Easter. I really need to stop talking.
Blah, blah, blah. Subscribe.
Ooh, there we go. There we go.
Very nice.
Oh my god.
We did it. Let's go. Let's go. All right.